tell us about, like the order, which is nice to hear. Again, you're out from the lectern. You're out here, very comfortable. By this time you should be, right? The little note card was great, and you knew your speech. So you just and it wasn't distracting, it was just a little note card, so I really like that. The research that you did, you came up with dates, 19 so-and-so, and the places, and all of that. You had all that memorized, so congratulations for that, Debbie. You spoke with a nice pace. You paused when you needed to. And again, you did a great job of explaining what a charter school is. I think we all learned a little bit more about that. You had visual sheets up here on the table. They were on the small side. I'm back here. I couldn't see them or read them. I don't know if you wanted us to. I mean, you pretty much went through it. But what I would recommend as an improvement is to have a chart or something here up on the side. Because what you did is you're doing your speech, and then you had to turn your back to us just briefly and get the visual then turn. Instead of possibly, you could just back up a little bit and then point to the chart. That would be more effective. You had great contact with us, the audience. You noticed the timer, and at one point I said, oh, wow. So we want to eliminate that. The timer is just for you, like to just recognize and continue on. Great research, you knew your speech, very well organized. The end was a little abrupt. I think that you wanted to hurry up and get to the question and answers. The great job on question and answers. 4 questions were asked. And even though you didn't know one of the answers, you answered it very well. Great job of that. Overall, great speech. Always love to hear from you. Thank you very much. Thanks, Deb. There's a pause somewhere.
There was a pause. It's the pause to refresh it, is it not? Yes. Thank you very much for that. Coming up next, we have our, I was about to say Representative Chamber. We have the esteemed Todd Begley. Thank you so much, Steve.
Hello again. Pilar, thank you so much for your speech today. I think we all enjoyed it. In fact, I know this is to be true because I found many smiles in the room, which I think was one of the goals of the speech. So very well done. Leave Them with a Smile is a speech from the Advanced Communication book. And the goal is to open and close the speech with stories that are humorous and help everyone to enjoy the speech and see how well we can tie those stories into the speech. As far as opening the story, your joke about your mother-in-law was funny. I think the whole room responded very well to that. Great tie into the theme of critical self-improvement, which is what I took away from your speech. As far as the closing story, I felt that there was more emphasis on the power of intention by Dr. Dwyer, which is he's a great thought leader and very valid, but I didn't really catch whether or not that was a story per se, or if it was just talking about a great book. How appropriate were the stories? Not only were the stories appropriate, the audience responded so well I felt the room permeate. How amusing were the stories to me? I laughed. In fact, I laughed so much I gave you a little smiley face on it. How effectively did the closing story end the speech? It could have been a little stronger. How comfortable and confident did the speaker appear while telling the story? You were excellent. You were very comfortable, confident. I love these moments that you have in the speech where it's extraordinary how you get into your speech and you're speaking, and you have these moments that are just lovely and precious. I really enjoyed that. And you adopt a gesture in that process. Everybody knows I'm saying wild thing right I mean, excellent. Just so thank you very much for your speech today. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Todd. That was fantastic. And now, no fair peeking on her paper over there, Louisa. She's making her notes. Susie's getting ready. She's gearing up. She's coming up to give us her insight and the fantastic icebreaker that you gave us. Thank you, Susie.
Thank you. Louisa, you did a great job on your icebreaker speech. I love the way that you came out in front of the lectern. You weren't back here reading notes. I think it was a fabulous idea. What a great idea to make it a fairy tale in a storybook, like you were reading us all a story when we were sitting around for story time. So I love that, because for our icebreaker speech, we're either typically looking at a lot of notes, or because it's about us, sometimes we don't do that and we go ahead and look out at the audience. I thought your idea was tremendous, so very nice. And I felt that you really took some time to put it together. The strong points that you already have that I saw were passion about your life and what you do as a business, as well as your humor. And you had a great smile throughout the speech, and I think that just showed that you were happy and passionate and relaxed. Good job. I think all of us got a sense of who you are and where you came from. And I don't know about everybody else, but I love your accent. It was beautiful the way you said the places you were from and everything. As I mentioned, adequate preparation, definitely. You did a wonderful job in making it a story. The pictures that you passed around at the end, what a great wrap-up. Everything that we visualized, you confirmed with real pictures. So that was wonderful. I love that. The evaluation asks about your use of notes, and you pretty much rely completely on your use of notes, but again, it was part of your presentation in the storybook format, so I think it was wonderful the way you delivered that. I liked the entire presentation. I enjoyed you telling us a story, coming out in front of the lectern, not appearing nervous, and having a wonderful smile. Overall, you did a great job. A couple little things in the English weren't exactly proper, but I know it's your second language, and I'm sure being in Toastmasters as Pilar, that's going to get better and better. So great job. Thank you.
That's true.
Oh.
No, it's
Yes. All right. Dan, fantastic evaluations, all of you. Dan, if you could give us the official report on how they did timing-wise.
Evaluators, they all made their time.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, if you would all cast your votes on your little sheet of paper, make sure you've gotten the best table topics speaker and now evaluator, and pass that on over to Randy, and he'll tally those up for us while I ramble on here about how our meeting has gone. And Dan, if you could change my light to green before starting my 3 minutes, that's awesome.
Oh, you get 3 minutes?
I do.
Okay.
I'll try to be less than that, but I'll cram about 10 into 3. That's my typical style. Starting off, I thought we did a great job. This is, by the way, the official evaluation of our meeting. So we start off on time. I thought that was great. Julie, I love the way that you came right up here to introduce yourself to Pat, welcome her into our group. Excellent job again, Susie. You are so great about promoting and telling people about our group. Fantastic. Hope you feel that too, Pat, that it was fantastic that she brought you in here. And I need my dings for my Oz. And I haven't heard that many dings also. That's another thing. I'm going to get on Jill. But we did start on time. Guests were welcome. And make sure that you talk with Pilar later. She'll have some material for you about our group. The meeting roles were explained great by Diane as our Toastmaster today. She gave Pat, our guest, the opportunity to introduce herself. She transitioned. Now I'm going through our checklist, right? Yeah, going through our checklist here. The segues between the speeches as a Toastmaster was listening. That does not apply, and I apologize for reading through my list here. Going on to Table Topics Masters with Cliff, the planting of the garden scenario and creating the visuals of that I thought was great. I thought you could have elaborated maybe a little bit more to give us some ideas on the different, how to apply the different ideas through there from the garden. But I think people took the ideas and ran with it. It was great. You all showed creativity in taking whatever the idea was presented to you, and if you didn't like it, you did a segue or a transition into something else, like Paula, instead of talking about